Welcome to Project Play. I'm Kaye England with Wilmington Prints, and in this video, we are going to do some twisting again with our fabulous 5-inch squares and our 2.5-inch strip packs. This spectacular quilt can be created using nothing but this. And a little bonus, if you stick with us till the end, is how to use those cutaways to create another project. Let's get twisting. Okay, I am ready to get busy and twist again, showing you how fabulous this simple quilt is with very little sewing and, quite frankly, a beginner's dream. So let's take a look at our fabric packs. We're going to use the Royal Knights 5-inch pack, and you're going to need 3 of these packs, so they're identical. So you have an A and a B and a C on the packs. Then in addition to that, we have selected the Dry Brush White 40 karat pack, which is the 2.5-inch strips. That is what the entire quilt behind me is made out of. 3 5-inch packs, squares, and 1 2.5-inch strip pack. Let's look at how easy that is to execute. So now, one thing your pattern's going to tell you when you open it up, and you know how I encourage you to read every word before you pick up a rotary cutter or anything. And it's going to ask you to set aside 2 of your packs. So you have 3 Royal Knight 5-inch square packs. Do not open anything but one of them. If you open those others, you're going to have a tendency to drift in there and pick up a color. And I will tell you that your life will be simpler if you simply work out of pack A, and they're all the same. So pick one, put 2 aside. So with pack A, our first job is to just, I tell you, work from the stack. Don't get fussy about a pink, well, there aren't any pinks. Don't get fussy about choosing a teal, a blue, or whatever. Just work from the top, because every 5-inch square needs this. You are asked to cut X number of dry brush in a 2.5 by 5. This is a 5-inch square, so 2.5 by 5. You will do this to all 42 squares. Now, once you do that, this is how I laid them all out, and they were all, it just looks like a big pack of jewels with all these laid out with 2 sides coming on it. Then the next thing it's going to ask you to do is to take your 2.5 by 7 pieces, and what you're going to do there is you're going to sew them, one going that way and one going that way. Now, I've got a little cheater piece, so let's take a look at this. Ignore those little stitch lines, and I'll cover that in a second. So these are 2.5 by 5s. These are 2.5 by 7s. Remember, you're making 42 that are the same thing. So when you start to sew this, if you're new, you're going to look at this and go, gosh, Kaye, I don't have a clue. How am I going to sew that? Just put it in the machine and start even, and sew all the way across. Even though you have no fabric there, it's so much easier than taking it out of the machine. Then you'll pick it up, turn around, and do the same thing on the other side. You'll do that to the pack of 42 that I just showed you in the graphic. Now they'll all have 4 sides on them. Now's when you get to open pack B, which is exactly what you've just worked with. When you open up pack B, what the pattern is going to ask you to do is to draw a line across this element. Now, I've even stitched a little sample for you, because I'm sure somebody go, I don't know how to do that. So I've even stitched a little. You'll just stitch across that. I'd wait and trim when I was finished if it were me, because you've got to go to the cutting table. So just sew all 42 with the second side on them. And now I'm going to put their pack of 3 5-inch, which would be your leftover pack. And here's where you start to get fussy. On the pack previous, every one of them has got to be added to the previous element. I just tried to do something different. So even if it was a teal, I tried to do a different teal. There's enough separation in these that you can easily do that. So these two are pretty simple. When you get to your third pack now, your job is, oh gosh, I've got a purple and a teal. Well, I may have to use some teals. Probably, and you might even end up having to use the identical piece. But one of these matching this would not be as great of an issue for me as two of them matching this. In the big picture, I'm not so sure that it's going to make any difference, quite frankly, because as you can see from the quilt behind me, the way they get twisted and rearranged, even if I had put the same two purples on this, I'm doubting you could pick it up in the quilt. But the pattern writer's reason for saying work with 3 separate packs. Do pack A first, that's when you put the sides on. Do pack B with the first corner on. Then do pack C with the last corner on. Now here's where when you turn it over, you've got some trimming to do, and I even have a graphic now where I just take a rotary cutter. You could easily use the scissors and trim that off. Here's what it's gonna look like before it's trimmed. So the front side is like this, but the back side, you're like, oh dear, Kay, where would I lay my ruler? See, I've got a 1/4 inch line here, so I would just lay my ruler right there. Well, why don't we just cut that, just to show you. I'm gonna lay my ruler right there, and I'm just gonna cut that off. And the reason you really don't have to worry so much is you're past that 1/4 inch. And let me tell you something, my friends, for those of you who are relatively new, you're going to love the fact that you do not have to match these when they overlap. And if you look at the pattern where they crisscross, there's a little bit of a gap there. So you aren't having to match that. And then when I open that, I got both of them off. That's what happened if you don't fold back, my friends. So here's what it's supposed to look like. I just cut both of them off. But now, wait a minute, that's an extra one to play with. So there's a little secret here in a second or two. So make sure when you do that you fold the one on the back side out of the way like this, and you'll turn it over so there wouldn't be any color showing. And you'll be a little bit happier when you do that. Now, you do not have a wasted piece in this. I am lucky enough that I have a little bit of this in my stash, so I saved myself. And I wasn't even going to confess, but now I have to because, look, I just did this. It cost me a lot to probably bribe the cameraman to take this out. But, you know, you need to know that we all make a few mistakes. So now I've got all 42 that look like this. What's really great when you're arranging is there is no order other than, if you look at this graphic in your pattern now, it's showing you how they recommend you lay out row 1 and then row 2. I played around on the wall a little bit with the fact that you could probably create 20 different designs with this. The twist again means that you're continually rotating when you build each row. You might elect to go in a different manner, and I would suggest that when you get all 42 of these made, just simply go to the wall or the floor and play with them, and you could create an entirely different pattern. And I'd love to see it if you did. And I was, quite frankly, anxious to do that. But my job is pretty much to follow the way that the pattern is laid out. And I do love the way it looks. I think it looks very much more complicated than it actually is. Assuming your rotary cutter does not go wild and cut off one, this is really a sweet little block. I do like to really press it. I don't even turn the iron on for this until it looks like this. Once it looks like this, I want to give it a nice press. You do have a recommended size that it should be. In other words, it should be 9 inches. In the event that you were off a cat hair, you could probably true all of these up if you had to, which again makes it very friendly for a new sewer or somebody who's just having a bad day and needed to play with it. You might have noticed that little quilt off to the side there. Normally, most people don't throw these away. They set them aside for another project. But when I finished, I realized, wow, I've got 84 of these because I have 42 blocks and 2 are on each one. Why in the world don't I just create some triangles? So here was one of mine. What I did was sew them together, and I trimmed mine up. After I sewed them together, I trimmed them all up to 4 inches as they laid on the table. You could choose a smaller size if you wanted to. I had 42, and I only used, in my little project, I only used 5 by 8. I started playing with them by arranging the color. I slapped them up on the wall and just willy-nilly laid them across each other. I liked it that way. Then I started playing with it, and I like it this way. Now, I will tell you that you had enough dry brush white left over in your pack that you easily could have framed your little baby quilt with the same dry brush white, and you'd had a sister quilt. Surely you guys all have a little girl or a little boy that needs a play quilt, so this would be a fun little project that is a freebie because you don't have to buy another thing except your bedding and your bag for this. I don't know how we can make it any easier unless we maybe put on some music and try to twist again and get this all done. So have fun making this project. We hope that you share your pictures. We love to see them, Wilmington's site or our site. Have a good time twisting again and making this killer project. Bye-bye.